Hey guys, and welcome back to the J2 channel. This is obviously your Chelsea News Daily video. We've got a couple of stories to talk about today. We've also got developments from the UCL final, where it's going to be at. It looks like Villa Park is not an option. We're obviously going to talk about Tammy Abraham. We're going to talk about Fikayo Tomori. And we're obviously going to give a little bit of development around our youth players like Broja, Mark Gahey and Conor Gallagher. So if you do enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe, turn those post notifications, share this video, and yeah, comment down below as well. So let's do this, people. First stories we're going to talk about, we're obviously going to talk about some of our youth players, starting off with Conor Gallagher. So it's been reported that Conor Gallagher is aiming to be a part of Chelsea's squad for next season. Obviously, he doesn't want to stay at West Brom. He wants to be part of Thomas Tuchel's plans, and he's hoping he can break through and be part of our team next year. And in my opinion, guys, I think out of him, Ruben and Ross Barkley, because they're all players that play around the same position. They're number 8/ number 10s, I would say, for all of them. They're all midfielders. I think Conor Gallagher has the best chance of getting into this Chelsea team over the other two, just because with Ross, he hasn't had a good season with Villa. Ruben, I think that injury's messed him up. And Conor Gallagher, you know what? I'm happy he went to West Brom, because I feel like as much as I don't like Sam Allardyce, at least he's learnt like a different side to the game. You know, he's felt the pain of like losing every single time, losing constantly, being the team that's not gonna have possession of the ball, being the team that's getting dominated. Do you know what I mean? You know, playing completely different to how, if he comes back to Chelsea, is going to be played. At Chelsea, it's more likely that he's going to experience us winning more games. He's going to experience us dominate games, you know, play good football, all of that stuff. At West Brom, you know, he's had a totally different experience. And you know what? I think overall he's had a good season for them. I think he's been one of their best players for me. And I feel like he's come back with a different mentality the physical side of the game is crazy. Like, it's crazy, and I know now what it's like to lose constantly. And I think he's been able to take that experience with him. Sam Allardyce has said, "Oh, I hope he stays with us." He even said one time that he hopes Conor Gallagher stays at West Brom and doesn't go back to Chelsea. Shut up, man. So yeah, I hope Conor Gallagher actually does break through, and I think he will, and I think he will be part of the Chelsea squad next season. If not, then let him go out on loan to a Premier League team that's actually better than West Brom. We move on now to Broja, and obviously he went to Vitesse on loan earlier this year, and he's had a really, really good season there. He scored bags of goals, and obviously Chelsea are looking to extend his contract. So many clubs are in for him, from Premier League, Bundesliga, Liga. Like, so many clubs, the Dutch league, so many clubs are in for him, because he's really shown that, you know, he can score goals. He's only I think he's 19 years old, if I'm not wrong, and he's had a good season at Vitesse. So obviously Chelsea are planning on offering a new contract for him, and I just think it's one of those ones where quickly we're gonna offer him a new deal, and then we'll probably send him out on loan to a better club. I don't see how he gets into this Chelsea team at the moment. So yeah, that's on Broja. The next player that we're talking about quickly, Mark Gahey. Obviously, Chelsea have triggered the clause for his contract to be extended by a further year, so it's up until 2023. It was set to be expired next year, 2022, but obviously we've triggered it 2023. And I think Mark Gahey has a very good chance of getting into this Chelsea team. Obviously, I'll talk about Tomori later on, to be fair, but Mark Gahey, you know what? If someone like Tomori does leave, I feel like Mark Gahey could be someone who we bring in. Seeing as Tuchel is like looking at youth and all of that stuff. So, to be fair, he's had a good season for Swansea, being one of the best defenders in the Championship. We don't know if Swansea are going to go up. They're obviously going to do the playoffs, so we'll see if they do go up. And I think if they do, we might send Mark Gahey back to Swansea on loan just to have a bit of Premier League experience. So, he's a good defender, commanding. He's already 20 years old. He's very strong. And he's a good defender. Look out for Mark Gahey. He's a decent centre back. Now let's move on to the big stories of the day. Obviously, first of all, we're going to talk about Tammy Abraham quickly. So obviously, it looks like, according to Matt Law, Tammy Abraham is going to likely push to leave Chelsea this summer, and it's not because of the fact that he genuinely wants to. I think it's just because he wants to just play football, innit? And look, Me personally, look, if you haven't already got my thoughts on Tammy Abraham, I'll put a link down in the description for you below to say why Tammy should stay at Chelsea. But if you don't know my thoughts, then there'll be more detail down below, but I'll give you it quickly. I think it's a mistake if we let him go, considering Giroud's going to go in the summer as well. It's like we have to replace two players. It's like, you can keep Tammy, you can still get a striker in, and Timo Werner can move into like the number 10s of the 3-4-3 formation, if you know what I mean. So for me, I think it would be a mistake letting Tammy go, but West Ham are looking to loan him out. David Moyes came out recently and said, if 40 million is the asking price, then we're out of it. And that's what Chelsea want. We want 40 million for Tammy Abraham, which I think is fair, considering the fees I've seen Ollie Watkins go for to Villa. The fees I've seen Ryan Brewster go to Sheffield United. Dominic Solanke's. Tammy's better than all of those strikers. And yeah, 40 million is totally fair for him as well. England international, his goal record speaks for itself. So yeah, if he goes, 40 million is fair. I don't want him to leave because I just think keeping him as a squad player maybe could be good, but I don't think Tammy wants to be a squad player. He wants to play week in, week out. So obviously West Ham are in for him for a loan because they can't afford to buy him for 40 million. I've seen Aston Villa be linked to him. I know Villa have wanted him for time, even before they got Ollie Watkins. So because of Frank Lampard, obviously Tammy stayed. So tell me your thoughts down below on Tammy Abraham. Do you think he should stay? Do you think he should leave? State your reasons why. And yeah, that's unfortunately for him. I hope he somehow gets a chance against Arsenal. I don't think he will. Obviously do a preview for that game tomorrow, but it is what it is, man. So yeah, that's on Tammy Abraham. Like I said, link below if you want more context as to what I think of Tammy as a player, of him possibly leaving. I've already explained so much more. Link will be in the description. And yeah, next player we're going to talk about, Tomori. You know what, at this point it feels repetitive, to be fair, that I'm just talking about Tammy and Tomori. I think those are the two people I've talked about the most in terms of transfer news. But like those two are the ones that come up the most in terms of Chelsea. Ever since, Tammy has been left out of the squads and then Tomori's been doing at Milan. Obviously, Tomori had a masterclass last night. My God, he had a masterclass last night against AC Milan. I mean, this guy had an absolute masterclass. Pocketed Cristiano Ronaldo, people. He pocketed Cristiano Ronaldo. Unbelievable performance from him. And obviously AC Milan's manager came out last night saying, basically, they want Tomori and we're confident that we are going to get him. And Tomori himself apparently has said he wants to stay in Milan as well because he's getting played week in, week out. Milan are going to make the decision whether they want to pay the 28 million, the 30 million euros for him. Or is it 28? It's 28 to 30 million euros for Tomori. That's the clause, that's the option to buy because obviously he's on loan. Look, I've looked at that and thought, I don't want him to leave, And if he was to leave, it's one of those ones where I'm like, I'm happy for him. He's going to get consistent game time. But at the same time, I feel like Milan are playing him in a way. The manager's playing him. I feel like they're playing him just so he feels comfortable playing in the league. And they're trying to convince him that you're going to play week in, week out next season. That's what I'm getting at, in my opinion. And it worries me because, obviously their partner, I think his name is Kerr or something. He's like Danish or something. I can't pronounce his name. It's absolutely horrible. I'm sorry, but he's probably their best centre back. But Tomori has come in for their captain, Romagnoli. Romagnoli is their captain, people, and he's been dropped for Tomori. So I feel like next season, if he's there, I feel like he'll be on the bench because Romagnoli will play regularly. That's just my feeling. I feel like they're playing him to tricking him, thinking, yeah, you're gonna play week in, week out. And then next season, you're barely going to play. Like, you might play in a couple Champions League games, couple cup competitions, Serie A game from time to time. Like, I don't think he's going to play as much next season as he is right now. That's just my opinion. And I just feel like Thomas Tuchel will just transform him and turn him into a monster. That's just my opinion. I feel like Tomori's attributes as a centre-back, I think Thomas Tuchel likes. He's good on the ball. He's got pace. He's 1v1. Is very good as well. I just feel like Thomas Tuchel, I think, is going to want to see him first. I feel like he's going to want to, you understand? Me personally, I don't think Milan are going to pay the P's. I don't think they're gonna pay the. If they make Champions League, they might do. They might do. If they don't make Champions League, because another big factor is Champions League. Tomori wants to play in the Champions League, so you know I don't know if it's gonna quite happen if they don't make Champions League. I just don't think they're gonna pay the money. I just don't think they will. For some reason, I just don't think they will. So I think they're going to try and negotiate a fee and we're going to say no. If anything, I can see us asking for even more money. Because I think 30 million euros for Tomori is an absolute bargain, if I'm being completely honest with you lot. I think he's worth like 40 million. And that's just my opinion. So I think Thomas Tuchel's going to want to look at him first. You know? And I just think he's got the attributes to be in a Thomas Tuchel system. Like I said, he's quick. He's 1v1 against attackers is really good. You know, his ball playing ability is good. He suits the Premier League. Like, I feel like he's got the physicality as well. I feel like he's a Thomas Tuchel defender, people. I think he suits the way Thomas Tuchel plays more than a Zuma, in my opinion. And I like Zuma as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Tomori. I know he probably does want to stay there as well. But I presume that he'd also want to talk to Thomas Tuchel and see, hey, like, so what will my future here at Chelsea be like? Do you know what I mean? So that's it on Tomori. And yeah, I hope he stays. Again, tell me your thoughts down below on Tomori. Do you think he should stay? Do you think he should stay in Milan or come back to Chelsea? And yeah, and tell me how much you think he's really worth. Because I don't think he's worth 30 million. I think he's worth 40. So yeah. Next story we're going to talk about, the last story of today, is obviously going to be around UCL final. Now, obviously, I told you a few days ago that Aston Villa offered their stadium. Now, as it looks like, they've said no. And obviously, they said they've had a meeting, and it looks like reports came out from the Times saying that it looks like the UCL final is going to be hosted in Portugal, and specifically Porto Stadium is the more likely place it could be hosted at. It's simply because of the fact that apparently UEFA and the British FA couldn't agree on certain things. I don't know really. I think it should. You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's hosted in England. I think for the sake of the fans, for travelling purposes, for also, you know, the fact that it's two English clubs, they may as well have it in England. But apparently, you know, last night it was reported that it's gonna happen in England, and then disagreements happen, and it's looking like it could still happen in Portugal. But then now other reports from other people are saying that they're still in negotiations of where it's gonna be. So it looks like it's gonna either be in Wembley or it's either gonna be in Porto Stadium in Portugal. Now Portugal is on the green list of the UK. It's not on the UK's red list. So that is a safe place for fans to literally travel and for the players to travel as well. Turkey's on red list in the UK, so it's red listed. So it can't happen in Turkey. We already know that. And I feel bad for Istanbul because I swear the final last year was supposed to be in Istanbul, and then it ended up happening in Portugal because of COVID. So I kind of feel sorry for Turkey, man. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be moved out. In my opinion, I think they should go to Wembley. Yeah, I think they should. I think it's within the country. Most fans will literally attend the final. You know, it'll be so much easier for them. I think apparently they want about 22,000 people to be at the final of the Champions League. We'll see probably more context as to that as things go on. But at the same time, apparently Portugal's looking more and more likely to host the final. Just like Portugal was the country, that they hosted the final last season. So tell me your thoughts down below on that. Where do you think the UCL final will be hosted? Where do you think it will be? And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me all of your opinions on all the stories I've talked about. The UCL final, Tammy Abraham leaving, pushing to leave. Tomori apparently wanting to stay in AC Milan, possibly triggering the option to buy. And then obviously the youngsters like Gahey, Broja, and Conor Gallagher. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, share this video, follow my social media down below at Jetto345. And I will see you guys in my video tomorrow when we preview Arsenal, Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Hopefully we win that game in a bit, guys. Peace.